Imagine a missile hurtling toward India at speeds faster than anything the human eye can track, Mach 6 or more. That's over 6,000 kilometers per hour. You can't see it. You can't hear it. You may not even know it's coming, until it hits. This is not the future. This is now. Hypersonic weapons, maneuverable, ultra-fast, and terrifyingly unpredictable, are redefining the rules of modern warfare. So today we ask a simple but chilling question. How would India stop a hypersonic missile launched from various distances, from as far away as 400 kilometers to as dangerously close as just 50 kilometers from the border? Let's begin with the scenario that gives India the most breathing room, and gradually move closer to the worst-case nightmare. 400 kilometers. That's roughly the distance from Islamabad to Amritsar. At this range, a hypersonic missile launched at India would take about 80 to 100 seconds to reach its target, depending on speed, altitude, and trajectory. This is where India's S-400 Triumph system could, in theory, shine. With a maximum range of 400 kilometers, the S-400 is designed to intercept cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and even stealth aircraft. Paired with India's long-range surveillance radars, it might detect the launch early enough to react. But here's the twist: hypersonic missiles don't fly like traditional ballistic missiles. They can change course mid-flight. They can descend to low altitudes to avoid radar. Some are designed to maneuver aggressively during terminal phase, making them almost impossible to predict. So even with 90 seconds to respond, the chances of interception are not guaranteed. It's like trying to swat a bullet with another bullet, while the bullet is dodging you. Now let's move closer. 200 kilometers. At this range, think of launch points near Multan or Faisalabad. From here, a hypersonic missile could strike Indian territory in under 45 seconds. Suddenly, everything becomes tighter. Reaction time is halved. The window to detect, verify, and launch a countermeasure shrinks drastically. India's current BMD, ballistic missile defense, program includes two main interceptor types, the PAD for high-altitude threats, and the AAD for low-altitude interceptions. But these systems are optimized for predictable ballistic paths. Against a hypersonic glide vehicle, these systems are like bringing a knife to a gunfight. And here's another concern: India's missile defense relies heavily on ground-based radar. If the incoming missile flies low, beneath the radar horizon, there might not be any detection at all until the last 10 to 15 seconds. That's simply not enough time. To intercept from 200 kilometers, you need automated defense systems that think and act faster than any human. We're talking AI-powered detection, rapid-fire kill chains, and next-gen interceptors that can adapt to unpredictable flight paths. India is working on this, but it's still in development. 100 kilometers. Now things get scary. Imagine a hypersonic missile launched from the outskirts of Lahore. That's just under 100 kilometers from the Indian border. At Mach 6, it would take about 20 to 25 seconds to reach its target. Think about that: by the time you hear an alarm, the missile has already hit. There's no time for layered decision-making. No time to analyze. No time for a chain of command. Everything must be pre-programmed and automated, and even then, the intercept chance is slim. Most existing systems, including the S-400, struggle to engage at such close range, especially if the missile comes in low and fast. At 100 kilometers, it may be physically impossible to intercept unless the defense system is right next to the target, ready to fire at a moment's notice. And even then, it's a long shot. This is why defense experts say, hypersonic missiles aren't just faster, they break the entire logic of traditional missile defense. Now let's close in. 50 kilometers. Welcome to Sialkot, a city just across the border from India's Punjab region. If a hypersonic missile is launched from Sialkot, the target could be reached in less than 15 seconds. Let that sink in. 15 seconds from launch to impact. That's less time than it takes to unlock your phone and open the weather app. Less time than a TV commercial break. It's not a window, it's a blink. There is almost no way to intercept such a missile unless you're already staring at the launch platform, with your finger hovering over the trigger. And here's the bigger concern: India's border areas are densely populated. Cities like Pathankot, Amritsar, Gurdaspur, all lie within that 50 to 100 kilometers envelope. A missile launched from Sialkot or its outskirts could hit any of them before India can even react. So what can India do in a 15-second scenario? Right now, very little. And that's the cold reality. So where does this leave India? Clearly, traditional missile defense, no matter how advanced, is not enough. India is already investing in new technologies. The DRDO is reportedly working on a hypersonic missile interceptor, capable of maneuvering at ultra-high speeds to track and destroy threats like HGVs. It's being paired with artificial intelligence to cut down human reaction time to zero. There are also whispers of directed energy weapons, lasers that could destroy targets at the speed of light. But those are still in the testing phase, and far from deployment. India is also developing hypersonic technology demonstrator vehicles of its own, like the HST-DV, to stay in the game offensively. Because sometimes, the best defense is the knowledge that if you strike India, India will strike back. And that brings us to a crucial point: deterrence. For now, India's best defense against a hypersonic attack may not be interception, but deterrence through credible second strike capability. This means ensuring that even if a hypersonic missile hits Indian soil, there will be a massive, devastating retaliation. In other words, mutually assured destruction still plays a role, even in a world of hypersonic weapons. But here's the big picture. Hypersonic weapons don't just travel faster, they compress time. They turn minutes into seconds. They make national borders almost meaningless. And they force every country, including India, to rethink how war is fought. And how peace is kept. The difference between 400 kilometers and 50 kilometers isn't just distance. It's the difference between having a chance and having none. The only way forward is investment, faster sensors, smarter AI, stronger deterrence, and futuristic defense systems that can protect a billion people in a world where seconds decide everything. This is not science fiction. It's now. And the clock is ticking. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, give it a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. More deep dives into the future of warfare and defense tech, coming soon.